Hi, my name's Ryan Bernard, also known as ReTr00. I'm from the UK. I've been casting for nearly 4 years now, and I do Counter-Strike mainly here at CCT, but also do some Valorant and a few other esports as well. I was introduced to video games quite young. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but my dad used to play video games in the UK. He used to play the old Team Fortress and Q3F. So I think my first interaction with video games, probably when I was like 12 or 13, and I used to go on my dad's computer and play like Mini Clip and all of like the online Flash player games. So that's probably the first memory and my first introduction to gaming. Oh, this is difficult. This is a difficult question. I'd say when I first got my computer, I was addicted to Garry's Mod. It was just so fun to play Gbob with my friends. Like, used to go like into like a sandbox and build stuff and have fun, like shoot each other, play like dark RP, military RP. Like I remember the days where me and my cousin and our friends would just jump on and play Garry's Mod. So I'd say as a kid, I'd definitely say Garry's Mod. My first contact with esports was probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was, I reckon, I was playing in like an online league for Counter-Strike. Like I was a noob at this point. I think I was like level 6 on Face It, and I just wanted to play Counter-Strike and in a tournament. It was like one of these tournaments that you pay to enter. Me and my friends just made a team. We played. We got absolutely rolled, but it was good fun. And I think without that, that's why I'm here today. It's like I fell in love that moment with like playing games and like the gaming in esports specifically side of things. So I think that's my first contact, was probably 5 or 6 years ago in a local league. For me, and being attracted to professional gaming was definitely Counter-Strike. Specifically when I was playing with friends and having fun, is that I fell in love with the fact that there's 7 maps of Counter-Strike, but every time you play the map, it's different. And that's what I fell in love with. Is like you can play the same map 10 times, but you're playing against different opponents every time, and you have to do different things, and you have to counter. And it's all about your mental, but also about your skill. And from there, I think I just wanted to play games. I wanted to play Counter-Strike, and that's when I wanted to take it a little more seriously. This is quite funny, actually. So I used to be called ReTr00 just with an O, like ReTr00. But when I was playing Garry's Mod, specifically Dark RP, there was a guy also with the name ReTr00, and the admins hated it. They got so confused. So I said, I hold my hands up and I said, look, I'll change my name. So I threw like a couple capital letters in there. I added 2 zeros, and that's my nickname. And it's been the way ever since. I think my first cast, in fact, I know my first cast ever was just a complete troll. Like, it was just my friends playing Counter-Strike. It was like some Face It Points Cup or something like that. And they were like, oh, we want you to stream the game. I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, for the fun of it, I will. I was like, yeah, screw it. Like, let's have a go. And I remember soon after that, people said that I should look at it a little more seriously. People thought I was actually okay at it. And this was like squeaky voice me like 3-4 years ago. I ignored it. I pushed it to the side. Or this was actually even longer than that. This must have been like 5 years ago. And I pushed it to the side. I was focused on school. But then I returned to it sort of 3-4 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a proper go. I'll take it seriously. And this was the time of like the Boston Major. So like 2018, 2019. Like, I just remember watching the Boston Major, and it was like, do you know what? I fell in love with it. Like, the Bardolph DDK cast on Inferno, the FaZe Grand Final against Cloud9, I fell in love with it. And I didn't immediately start casting. I started playing the game more. I just fell in love with playing Counter-Strike again. It quite quickly transitioned back into casting again, and that's what's inspired me, really. So without Bardolph or DDK, I probably wouldn't be here, actually, for that final cast. My first memorable moment. I'm going to change this slightly. I'm going to say two. I have two memorable moments at the start of my career. The first ever event I did online, and I think it was like called Cyber Pro Series 2, or it was a really weird tournament, weird prize pool. Like, I didn't know anything about casting them, but that was my first paid professional gig that I did. And my second one wasn't too far after it, and it was my local UK event called Epic Land. I've got to show them love because I love the guys there. But yeah, that followed quite quickly after my online event, and that was my first in-person event. So I'd say those are my memorable moments. I'm going to put them in one. I'm combining them because they were pretty cool. My biggest achievement. Actually, this one's quite easy. I'd say doing the RMRs. The one just gone for the Rio Major. I did the RMR C stream. And I can remember most of the games I did. One in particular, I did FaZe Sprout at 2-0. So that was like, I think when I watched it back and checked the numbers, it was like 45,000 viewers live. It was an awesome game of Counter-Strike as well. 3 maps. That's my biggest achievement, definitely, doing the RMRs. My funniest story. That's difficult. Funniest story of me casting. That's a tough question. I feel like there's a lot of funny moments, but not a lot of like really memorable out there ones. My funniest moment. That is difficult. That is very difficult. I don't think I have a funny moment, to be honest with you. There's definitely been a couple of like ones that I've laughed at and things like that. Probably like tech timeouts. They've been quite funny in the past. You know, like I remember like someone broke a mouse, or like the water's gone all over the desk or something like that. Like, they're always funny to talk about in the moment. I always like to laugh at them because it's like, dude, like, you know, put a lid on your bottle or something. But I don't think I have like a funny story from me casting. I don't think there's been a funny story I can share, which, I don't know, maybe says more about me than the games. But yeah, I don't remember one. I have to say it. I had a chance to play in the GOAT League. It was like season 1 of the GOAT League. I was never invited to play originally. Like, I was just chilling. I got a message from the people that run it, KMS at ReTr00 Media. He messaged me and he said, I need an emergency stand-in. Would you be able to do it? I said yes. And so I got to play with Buster, Twist, Starix, and 23. And we were 0-2 in groups when I joined them. We ran it all the way through to the grand final. I lost to Loba, and I'll never forget that game, because that was, especially Mirage, I got owned. I remember it. But the cool moment, I'd say, is being able to play Counter-Strike with Twists and being invited to the GOAT League as a whole, because that is something that I don't think will ever be topped. My goals and aspirations. I think everyone in casting will say the same, and it's that they want to get to the top and do all the majors and stuff like that. And I'm 100% one of them. I would love to cast a major. I'd love to be a part of the tier 1 ecosystem of Counter-Strike. But to give you a less obvious answer, for me personally, it's just giving an experience to viewers that they'll enjoy the game, right? It's like, there's so many casters, there's so many games of Counter-Strike through CCT, tier 2, tier 1. There's so much CS that goes on. And I think my goal and aspiration isn't necessarily the level as much as I said, as much as I'd love to do a major. It's to give everyone an enjoyable experience watching Counter-Strike, because I feel like the games are always better when the casts are good. So if I can deliver a good cast and shed my voice and my thoughts onto a game of CS, and it's a really enjoyable watch, that's my goal, is to make everyone at home happy that they can watch the game. So yeah, a little bit of like a cringe cliche answer, but I'd say genuinely that, yeah, that's my goal, just to give everyone a good viewing experience. thanks for watching or listening. It's been a pleasure sharing light on my career and me as a person. If you want to follow me and catch my mediocre takes on Twitter, I think it's linked in the description below. But of course, subscribe here. It's an awesome place. CCT is the gift that keeps on giving for Tier 2 Counter-Strike, and we'd really appreciate your support here as well. As I said, drop a subscribe here. Check us out. We're always live. We're always streaming Counter-Strike, and you definitely don't want to miss it. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on a stream soon. Bye-bye. Sweet. One take. That was, yeah. That was insane, actually. Fair enough. That's a wrap.